Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another live edition of the Speak On It podcast. Post-game coverage of the NBA playoffs. Western Conference Finals Game 1 is in the books. Warriors win. We are going to dive right in, recap the little bit that there's to recap, and preview tomorrow night's main event game between the Celtics and the Heat. I'm not here alone. It's me and the mad producer, podcast Poppy in the building.
Warriors win, Warriors whoop ass, and Warriors move on.
I think that's it.
After this game, like, I know it's a lot to react to a game after one game and try to use that as your narrative to push forward what you think is going to happen, but boy, is it it's tough. It's tough if you're a Mavs fan. It's tough if you're anybody but me who said that the Warriors were going to win in 5.
Yeah, because if you joined us last night, we were all like, oh, Dallas is going to stretch this to 6, maybe 7. Let me tell you right now, that pick does not look good. But let me bring on our final guest of the evening. Back again last night.
Yeah. What I tell y'all, stop fucking with my baby face killers over there. Y'all slacking. I told y'all that this thing was gonna manifest itself. But let's get into it. Shout out to Speak on the Pod. Shout out to Dylan. Did anyone comment about yesterday? I still have to figure that out.
I'm still waiting. I literally just posted the clip on Instagram right now. I'm still waiting. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I listen, steroids and sports go hand in hand. That's all they do. That's all you really need to know. So it's not rocket science. I don't know why you gotta go this deep ambiance. There's an approval point to me about yesterday, about a Jets team that's trash, a Brooklyn Nets team that is so lethargically fucking out of order, as we all know about, and God knows how many New York teams that y'all got up there that's trash.
I'm not gonna harp on this again, but I will leave it at this. I still don't know what steroids and baseball have to do with the New York Jets and the Brooklyn Nets. And we'll leave it at that.
Corruption. We're done with this.
Yes, we're done with it. Let's move on to tonight. Warriors, I mean, there's nothing else really to say. They completely cleaned Dallas's clock tonight.
It was an absolute ass whooping. And then when you take a look at the stat sheet,
really bad too.
It doesn't even look terrible. It looks like they played if you just took a look at each team's shooting splits without looking at the final score, you're like, wow, these teams really didn't play that much. One team didn't play that much better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like glaring stats where it's like, oh, Dallas made more 3-pointers than Golden State did tonight, right? But Dallas also shot 48 threes as opposed to Golden State's 29 threes that were shot. And it's like, oh, Mike was saying before we even got in here, Charles Barkley at halftime was like, oh, the Dallas is getting exactly the shots they want if they're not going in. No, Charles, they're taking the shots that Golden State's giving them.
Mm-hmm. And is that Draymond crashing the post game? Oh, the trolling has begun.
That's some legendary stuff already.
This
when
is
you have a Turner.
Listen, it's bad enough that he has his own podcast where he talks openly about the playoff situation, but then now you got him doing that.
Hey, he's a Turner employee.
He's a Turner employee. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, this is hilarious.
I love it.
This is hilarious.
Mike, then you should be upset.
I love it.
It makes it feel like you know who TNT's rooting for. Like, I don't know. But I love it for Draymond. Go on, get that bag, sir. Get the bag. Because, woo.
Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, man, Golden State put the smackdown at home like normal. Now it's just what really is going to determine this series is games 3 and 4 when they
I
go back
think
to
so too.
Dallas.
Because
Yeah,
I
because
think we can
Golden
all
State
That's
right
either
now
conclude.
gonna
is
make them
literally
or break them.
Yeah.
doing what they're supposed to do. They protected home court in a massive way. in
Well,
in a
no, we
in
here. We try to get back.
like this is the punch in the face that y'all were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But then Dallas is also that team that responds to getting punched in the face.
They responded to Phoenix punching them because we were here about a week and a half ago after Phoenix went up 2-0 at home and it was like, yeah, well, it was nice, but Dallas is about to get packed the fuck up. And here we are. And so, I mean, we'll see. It frustrates me more with Phoenix because I just feel like Phoenix would have played Golden State better than this. So it's
Yes,
just
but
like,
they also shot themselves in the foot
yeah,
by letting this team go supernova, and they couldn't put a point on the board.
they couldn't buy a basket.
Like
So,
this game got so bad. Like Mike and I were literally talking about Dynamite. We literally were
No,
flipping in
let me
between
no. Let me
Dynamite
not bring the
and
wrestling into this shit because listen, I was doing the commission talk earlier. Then I jumped on a watch on. Now I watched AEW, so I watched what happened, and I sat back. I said, "These fans are going to be so damn upset at these jokers." Sorry, that was a letdown from Tony. So I'm totally on Mike's side this week. And like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stupid move. And then on top of that, you want to wait and you. No, that's how it says. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'd rather save my tirade for Friday. Because I know we'll be doing the Midwest March podcast next week. I know I'm going to be chewing their asses alive. And this is your favorite company? Your favorite company is starting to look like garbage to me. But that's neither here or there.
That's neither here or there. I knew that this game was over when Steph started dancing in the third quarter.
Oh yeah, where he shot terrible from the first half from three, and then he immediately got hot for literally 5 minutes.
Like I said last night,
back-to-back threes and starts dancing. I'm like, yeah, Steph's back.
Yep, just like
Even
I said last night.
I didn't watch the first half of it, but I kept up to it. I watched the second half, and I just said, if Golden State pulls out within the third quarter, there's no way Dallas is going to try to make that stretch in the fourth, and then you see what kind of dissolved the way that it was. And it's like, well, listen, they've been here before. You guys are brand new to the scene. Mm-hmm. These guys know what the fuck that they're capable of.
Championship DNA, man. That's what we talked about yesterday. Championship DNA at its finest.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to see it right here. Like this
live and in color.
Live in color. It literally exposed Dallas for what Dallas actually is as a whole, which is Luka.
One trick pony.
And it's Luka and a couple really good guards next to him and a bunch of other guys.
Like I told y'all yesterday, besides Luka, who else is going to stand up and say that it's going to be the next man up mentality? Who else will stand up besides Luka if he's not playing well?
Dinwiddie did his thing, but
Dinwiddie had an okay game.
But Dinwiddie can only win you a game depending on who you play. And depending on the circumstances.
There are games I know Dinwiddie better than everybody. Right? There are games where Dinwiddie will absolutely come out of nowhere and put up 40. Out of nowhere. But it's like on games where Luka is literally only giving you 20, and then here's that magical stat of superstars turning over the ball 7 times a game, where Luka had 7 turnovers. Like, what are we going to do? Like, you're the primary ball handler. You're the facilitator for this team. You're the straw that stirs the drink. This is literally you. This is your show. And the fact that you had 1, 2, 3, barely 3 guys in double figures. With Dinwiddie, who gets his buckets by himself. Brunson, who gets his buckets by himself. And then Bullock, who scored 12.
Bullock, like we said, Bullock was the key. He had a bad night. He can't take 12. He can't take 10 threes and hit 3 of them. Because if that happens, they're going to lose every time, and they're going to lose like this every time. So
Yeah.
he's got to at least hit 4 or 5 of those to
Right.
give you a chance. If he's going to take 10, he needs to be hitting 5 or 6 of those.
Or Brunson, Finney, and shit like that. They all got to be able to try to match up to 20.
Brunson has to give you 20, 25.
But I would say all the role players in Dallas got to be able to give you at least 15 to 20 points. Each every game.
That's not how they play, though.
They need
But that's the
need
point where they got to screw that formula when it comes to these guys, because they know that they're going to run the small ball with them. So what is their ultimate opportunity to be able to decrease that?
They need Luka to give them 30, 10, and 9. Dinwiddie to give you 17 to 20. Jalen Brunson to give you 25. And then your other guys to give you
12
7,
to 15.
12.
They need
10.
12 to 15 from somebody else. They didn't get none of that. Well, they got Dinwiddie's points.
They got Dinwiddie's. Dinwiddie's the only guy who came tonight and did what Dinwiddie has to do.
Because Luka had a good game, but for them to win this series, he got to play better than that.
He can't win putting 20 points up, but he also only played 35 minutes. He's got to have to play 40-something minutes a game if they want to stand a chance, because those minutes without Luka, they're going to kill.
They'll be fatigued out quicker.
But then it's again, you can't go out there and shoot 36% from the field as a team.
Yeah.
Brunson 6 for 16, Bullock 4 for 12, Dorian Finney-Smith 2 for 6, Luka 6 for 18, and then literally besides Dinwiddie on their bench, 1, 2, 3 guys out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that played made a field goal attempt. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kidd's got to go to the drawing board and be like, hey, we can't get outworked like that. And again, nobody had a crazy game. Steph had a small triple-double for what's a Steph Curry like performance, 21, 10, and 12.
Yeah.
Draymond, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Like, nobody had a stellar game.
Listen, we're not going to be expecting stellar games like this till maybe like 3 or 4.
Yeah, but for them to be winning by 30?
Hey, listen, I mean,
and nobody had a great game?
Bro, this is light work to them. Let me keep looking at them like, yo, we can get rid of them within 5 games.
That's the
extra rest.
Steph hit 2 threes in the third
quarter. Out for 7 games, and meanwhile, we're going to be well rested, baby. Like, we're ready to play.
Steph literally hit all of his threes in the third quarter.
All of them started shimmying like, yeah, this is over. These dudes is done.
Come on, man. Like, I told y'all, don't doubt my babyface killer over there.
I'm the only one. I'm literally the only one, when we made our predictions, I said Golden State in 5.
I said Golden State in 6 because I gave it benefit for Luka to try and snag them a game.
Yeah.
But one other random ass person would be potentially snagging them a game. But if I really gotta go with a gentleman's sweep with this, I'm just like, yo, listen. As long as Clay can start coming more to his own little by little, but that's gonna be a long reach. But if he does that this season, but if he does it in this series, when it comes to the finals, you're gonna get Clay going back to that championship mode a few years back. That's what they need him to do. They need him to be like, we need the old Clay. This new one, it's cool. Like, it's cool and all that, but you need to go back to being that fucking assassin next to Steph.
Yeah, Golden State literally had 7 guys in double figures.
So now you put less pressure off of Wiggins. You put less pressure off of Poole, just in case that Poole can be the X factor for that as well.
Wiggins played well.
Wiggins was the guy you were talking about yesterday. It was like he needs to be one that's going to step up, and Wiggins a plus 28.
You know what I'm saying? But even if you put him at the 4, or if he ever come off the bench, he can still be a dual player with that.
Just under 50% shooting from the field, 30% or just over 30% from 3. Missed both his free throws, but 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, a block. Like, he had himself a game. The highest plus minus of the night in a plus 28. So whatever they're doing, and shout out to Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney came out there and played his role really, really well because, again, Dallas doesn't have a big, like a legit big.
And
Mhm.
don't count
And-
Norman Powell as that because that's not it either.
Kevon Looney's a big, but he's like never been great, and he gets to shine in this series. And it's just going to be him being the garbage man, just doing all the dirty work down low, and hitting. And apparently, he had a perimeter shot tonight too, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
he
funny.
took a like a 20-something foot jumper. I was like, oh my god, Looney's shooting that.
And it swished it too. So
Yeah, I was like, oh, Steve Kerr's letting Looney shoot that at the top of the key. All
Yeah,
right,
you
go
know
ahead.
Steve Kerr over here
Why
trying to do
not?
some experiment shit.
Why not?
Yeah.
He's playing well. Let's do it. Good job, Looney.
Hey man, you make them when it matters. Fuck it, we'll take that.
Yeah, but like
So-
there's not a lot to go from in this.
yeah,
If
there's
you-
not a lot.
Nah, and like we said yesterday, it's only game one. There's still 6 more games potentially, so you might never know. You know how the NBA does these things. When it comes down to that clock can be a team's best friend or a team's worst enemy.
That's true. I was mentioning this to Dylan. They shot so well in Game 7 that it's natural that they were going to come down a little bit tonight, but they kind of fell off the cliff. We said that maybe Boston got a little tired. Is it possible that Dallas got tired? Because Dallas also just played on
because
Sunday.
we both played the same day. And shit went through a 7-game series, and then 2 days later, we was on a whole new series. So yeah, the wobbly legs fatigue is starting to slowly come into play. That's why a lot of teams will like to try to get a sweep in, and then they can just rest.
But
I
that
don't want to
excuse
do the
goes out
whole
window.
like Dallas blew their load in Game 7 thing because they might have, but that will.
It's okay to say it because
I think it's too soon to say it. I think it's too soon to say that they blew their
Because
load.
wait a minute, we just went to the Bucks. The Bucks would have normally been in this predicament, and all of a sudden, Antetokounmpo didn't play his best game.
Well, it's different
There's no
because you guys played, even though the first series went 4, that whole series, everybody on that team was working. There was not a break for y'all in that series. Every night it was the same effort, and then you went 7 with Milwaukee. You guys didn't have you did win by like 20 something in Game 7, but I don't think you guys blew your load because you were still in that Heat game. And it just got careless. I don't see that same type of thing happening like again.
And to that point tonight, Dallas got ran off the court.
Dallas looks like he's like, yo, we beat
They
the
only have
brakes
one
off of Philly.
superstar and a bunch of role players that's around them. Look at Golden State. They have literally 4 All-Stars on their squad as a starting fucking lineup. No, you're not going against that if you are this Maverick team. You might have to pull some shit from back in the day from 2011, become that scrappy defensive team, and just say, yo, listen, fuck the offense, we'll worry about the defense. Let's make sure that we disrupt their shots, and then whatever the fuck that we can make, we can make.
Well, it's different because that 2011 team
like that.
That 2011 team played zone to
Hey, listen,
beat
you got a
LeBron,
head
who
coach that
wasn't
was
a
part of
great
that damn
shooter.
team.
Rick Carlisle, isn't that there?
Yeah, that was
Jason Kidd.
He was
Yeah,
part of
Jason
that
Kidd-
team, but it's a
Jason
little
Kidd
bit
was on
different.
that team.
Rick Carlisle's philosophy in that series was, hey, if LeBron's going to beat us, he's going to beat us with his jump shot. And they played zone to force LeBron to have to shoot. I do not, if they try to go in zone against Golden State,
Might as well
you're going
pack
to
him
get
up
shot
now.
out the gym. Like, it's literally just let Steph Curry go to LA Fitness and just shoot from half court. And it's just going to go ahead. Have a day.
Damn near might want to consider a 3-2 zone.
Mm-hmm. But they don't have anything on the interior to stop drives.
Yeah.
So it's literally a lose-lose.
They got to man up. They got to figure it out.
Or
Or they got to outscore them. They got to out. I'm telling you, the only
man,
way Dallas is going to win this series.
I mean, well,
they
not
got to
outplay them, but they need to
Score
they
them.
need to really rough them up to make a statement. Like, you have to be a bruiser right now.
Yeah, they don't have that guy.
Bruise them up to fatigue them, so it works out in your favor in the later games.
Yeah, it's.
You might have
If this same thing happens, Game 2, the series is over. Like, I know.
Say it's over.
If it happens this type of blowout again,
right? There's a lot of teams that came from 0-2 deficits and and crept up to win their series as well.
It's one thing if it was a loss, right? If it's a loss, I don't think it's over. If it's an ass whooping like it was tonight, and Dallas cannot respond,
it was
they blew their load. That'll be my official like, hey, they're done, they're cooked. Check their legs. Their legs are wobbling. They fucked up.
Spanking, beat down, whatever they want to call it.
They gave everything they had in that Phoenix in Game 7 in Phoenix, and they got nothing left. So I hope for their sake they can figure it out and put something together, a better performance, so they can bring to Dallas on like a higher note. But right now, if they got to stay in San Francisco, stay in the Bay, it's not gonna look good for them because they're just been hearing a lot of E40 and they're gonna get so sick of it.
Or too short.
Or too short, who performed at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's my favorite word?
And blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
Luca's gonna get so tired. He's like, "Oh, this blow the whistle song, I hate it."
Again, we go back to Texas, man. We go back to the Paul Wall. You know,
I know
the Paul Wall, Mike Jones, Slim Tug, yeah, DJ Screw. You know, they can go back to the SS too.
Hey, hopefully that helps them because they need whatever they're doing. Change. They need to do something. They can't allow this to happen again.
Still tipping off 4 foes.
They need to. They need to go.
4 foes.
Oh, I love still tipping. I love Mike Jones. Mike Jones is my guy. Some dude came to my job.
He had a big ass cell phone bill because he put out his number.
Some dude came to my job and he played a clip from back then, and I'm just like, before I came up in the game, nobody showed me love. They used to treat me different, just to treat you like a scrub. Oh. 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones on down low because Mike Jones about to blow before the ice was in my grill. Before I got my major dealings, hoes ain't give a damn if I was here. Cheer.
Okay, Dylan.
Okay, Dylan.
I love Mike Jones.
Oh shit.
That era of hip hop super underrated. Underrated.
We'll try to catch me riding dirty.
Yeah, but I don't like Chameleonaire.
I also do not like Chameleonaire.
Like I said, the one-hit wonder, and then that was it.
He had another song after that, didn't he? He had one more song.
Trash, but that's not comparable to Riding Dirty that's still playing till today.
No. It was Riding Dirty.
He still gives you off of one song and one song only. That's it. He's done.
Well, yeah, that and him and Hurricane Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
I'm in the club, Holly.
That's
what's that? Or Baby Huey, but even though that he died though, which is sad.
Oh yeah,
Pop Lock and Drop It.
Pop Lock and Drop It.
Yeah.
Pop Lock and Drop It. Yeah.
Shoot that thing up, mommy.
That's why I was like, bro,
Pop Lock and Drop It.
What a time when Southern hip hop was just
killing the game.
Was taking over.
Mm-hmm.
It took over for a good few years too. Everyone wanted to go work with some Southern artists and shit like that because it was the hardest thing at the moment, you know.
And it seemed like it was never gonna end.
For a while, there was a 5-year stretch,
where
anything that came out of Atlanta,
Florida,
Texas,
Georgia,
Atlanta, Florida,
Mississippi,
Texas,
because of David Banner too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So there was a lot, There was a lot. I was like, damn, they got an archive out there, but they fuck with one another compared to what it is up here and shit like that. Where you gotta like know niggas and shit like that, get in the loop with certain people and shit just for you to do your thing. Down there, they but nah, be like if your shit's good, come to the studio, nigga. Like you said, like let's do some work. They actually were really fucking like that hospitality shit is really for real down there. Like it was a prime fucking example of that shit.
Ooh, we got another guest.
Look who has joined the party.
Frenchie?
Conspicuous by his absence.
This sneaky bitch. This sneaky bitch. He's here. He's joined. Oh, he doesn't hear nothing?
Can't hear nothing.
Oh,
you can't hear nothing. You answered us.
No.
Nothing.
This is what happens when you do it live.
Whoop, whoop. Nope, never mind.
Oh, no, you didn't
Yeah.
hear me.
Oh,
call
that's
the
why.
sneaky bit? Okay.
Oh,
You hear us
Okay.
now?
Yeah, my Bluetooth was messing
You
with
sneaky bitch!
me.
You sneaky
Yeah.
bitch! He's
I didn't
back.
even know y'all was doing this.
He
Like,
missed. He missed 2 pods in a row
I
yesterday,
did not. I didn't know y'all was doing a back to back.
back to back, and then guess what? We're going every day, friend. Every day for game
So we're going
recaps.
every day as long as a playoff game that's going.
As long as there's a playoff
Yep.
game, we'll be here.
Well, that's every day. That's every day.
that's every day.
Now, Anthony,
So-
before you give us your thoughts on Golden State Dallas, what's your opinion on Mike Jones?
Mike Jones.
The rapper.
The rapper,
rapper.
Mike Jones. You're supposed to
That
go
is-
who? And then I'm
Oh
supposed
my
to go,
god.
Mike Jones!
Oh man.
I need a dime.
What?
That's top of the line. Cute face, little waist, and a big behind.
See, I'm 25 minutes late. What did I miss here? What did I miss?
You missed
Listen,
about
we-
5 minutes of game talk and then like 20 minutes of us talking about Mike Jones.
Mike,
And it-
how did Mike Jones become a topic of conversation? Is he trending right now? Did he do anything?
No, we was
No,
not.
I just like Mike Jones.
we was talking about Southern rappers and the whole Southern hospitality thing, how I came to play. That we went all over the place, and there was a good time where Southern rap was taking over the whole airways for like 5 years. From the Little Flips, the T.I., the Ludacris,
Yin Yang Twins.
Yin Yang Twins, Paul Wall, Slim Thug, Mike Jones. And that's what he kind of over that shit.
A very underrated era. in
Back
rap.
then, they didn't want me.
Now I'm
I'm
not. They all want me.
Nah, I was always a T.I. guy. T.I. was my dude. T.I. was my dude. It was just T.I. and then everyone else with me. Like The King is like one of my favorite albums ever.
Yeah, that was my shit.
I love The King. Like,
King album was really good. Paper Trail is actually my favorite T.I. album. But
really?
Yeah?
I really like Paper Trail.
Wow. No, Paper Trail was dope. It was dope. I never, wow. Crazy.
King is dope too. King, like, it's not like King's not a great album.
King is
a
very,
great album.
very good.
King
very
is a very
good.
good album. But for me, I just like Paper Trail. I just really like that album. You got anything on this blowout tonight, Anthony? We kind of.
Oh yeah, we also need your opinion on the series, and I think it's not fair that
Well,
you got his ass whooping.
I know.
I honestly, I'm keeping it above. I turned it off like 8 minutes into the fourth.
Damn.
Because I was like,
He knew shit. He knew shit.
Bro,
got
me,
bad.
we stopped watching at like in the second quarter to watch Dynamite, and then I fell asleep at the end of the third quarter, and I woke up when Mike's like, "Hey, room's open." I'm like, "Ah, shit."
Yeah.
Nah, because like I'm over here. I'm going here because I just started a Dying Light. My friend recommended the games to me. It was like
very good.
Yeah, it was
Never
like
played Dying Light?
Nah, I'm not usually into those kind of games, but I was just like, you know what? It's kind of slow right now for games for me. A friend was like, hey, it's $10 in the PlayStation Store. Go buy it. I was like, all right, cool. Let me try this out. I actually pretty like it right now.
It's very good.
It's going to be a well-spent $10.
Well, that's good to hear. So I'm playing that, and I'm watching the game at the same time. I'm just like, these guys are getting blown the fuck out right now. Like,
there's not a lot of good you can say from this game for the Dallas.
There was not much analysis.
But the thing that's so perplexing to me is like both teams started off bad, but only one team turned the common sense button on. My thing is, both the Warriors and the Mavericks were just jacking up threes in the first half. Both were just missing terribly, especially the Mavericks. I think they put up like 29 threes in the first half. It's like, dude, drive to the fucking rim. Or at least get closer to the hoop. See, that's the thing. Golden State, what they did was they got closer to the hoop. And they were hitting their twos. Because sometimes when the threes ain't going, sometimes you just need to see that damn ball go through the hoop. Sometimes you just need to see that. And that's what Golden State was doing. They got the ball in the hoop, and then what happened in the second half? Who got hot? Literally, Curry got hot. After Curry, Klay Thompson was like, all right, cool. Curry, let me get this shine now. He got hot. Andrew Wiggins was balling. Jordan Poole contributed. Like, Dallas, they shot themselves in the foot so bad, and they just kept jacking threes, and they weren't going in.
Yeah,
Well, some of them were
48
going
threes.
in.
They shot 48 threes, Anthony.
48 fucking threes, dude. That's insane, man. That's insane.
The problem is, if the threes are the shots they like Chuck says, those are the shots they wanted, but they're also the shots that Golden State was going to give them. If they started attacking the rim more, that's when you start getting the hey, watch out for Draymond. He's gonna come up behind you and just like poke that ball.
Draymond Green, that dude is just, you see so much of what he does on the court, and it's just like it doesn't show up in the stat line, but woo.
No. His plus 25, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block, but he does so much more.
He just does so much more. He does so much more. It's crazy.
Like, I wish there was a way to a stat that showed how aggravated people like get.
If there was an impact rating in 2K, he'd be a 96. He'd be a 96, like straight up. Like
he stirs that drink, man. He got Steph involved before halftime in transition, like attacking the basket. Like he just does things so well. He knows
they
his role.
Yeah.
And I said that too. I was like, Draymond's gonna be the guy that gets in Luka's head because Luka's very hot-headed.
Yeah.
Very hot-headed. So like that's like, okay, you're gonna see Wiggins and a lot of guys switch, but you're gonna see Draymond on him once you see Luka start to get more frustrated. And that's where he's gonna pull it out, and then he's gonna do something stupid.
I never seen Luka that flustered in a long time.
I've seen it a few times.
I haven't seen it that bad.
I've seen a few regular season games where he just gets like stupid technical fouls for getting just pissed off at dumb things. So I was like, oh, it's going to be even worse when he's not going to get foul calls.
You mean like Dinwiddie did tonight?
And then that's what's going to hurt the team.
Fucking Dinwiddie. I wanted to just slap Dinwiddie through the screen when he just started he started bitching about getting blocked. His 3-game block. He was like, that was a foul. That dude wasn't a foul. You got a clean block. And he started crying foul. Like, dude, stop, man.
Hey, man, to be fair, as somebody who would get his hands slapped and forearm slapped and 3-point shots all the time in rec league games, I'd also be complaining about shit because I think I deserve that foul.
But they showed the rewind, man. That shit was a clear block.
I hit 6 threes and a half against Mike's dad's team one time, and I hit a 4.3 a 4-point play. And I got after that I didn't play. Halftime hit, I didn't play the rest of the game. And before that 3 that I hit, that was it was a 4-point play in the corner. This dude Xavier fouled me on an inbound pass. I was complaining to the ref before. I'm like, these dudes are literally slapping the shit out of my elbow on this.
Wow.
And surely enough, the next 3 I took slapped my elbow, went in, splash, and I'm like, I told you. There it is.
Foul. Dylan working the refs. Dylan
That's
working the refs.
The problem is Dinwiddie is not going to get that in not Oracle, but in Golden State.
Oops. All right.
Dinwiddie's not going to get that in Golden State, and he's going to have a shorter fuse in Golden State. The refs aren't going to tolerate it the way they tolerate Draymond screaming at them. Like Draymond, he gets a bad rap because of his reputation, but that same reputation also allows him a little bit more leeway when it comes to screaming at officials.
See, I wish we could have said the same thing about Rasheed Wallace back then, and how much that he was right about that shit the whole entire time. The way
oh god,
ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie, baby.
Greatest line in sports.
Greatest line
because it's true.
Technical boy, Steve Rasheed Wallace. That boy was a living, breathing technical man. Great player,
that's another borderline Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer in my book, but boy, was Rasheed nasty back in his day.
Yeah, he should be Hall of Famer. I say he's Hall of Famer, definitely.
I don't know. He revolutionized that stretch 4, Dylan.
He did.
He was a part of that era.
He did, but
yeah, he sure was.
Yeah,
I know the argument.
This.
I know the argument's going to be he doesn't have the stats. But
I'm not saying he's clear consensus Hall of Famer.
He doesn't have the stats to do it. That's where it's tough. Like, if Rashid gets in the Hall of Fame is already a participation award for basketball. It's like if you let Rashid in, then it's like, all right, man, you might as well let Ben Gordon in.
Nah, come on, that's going.
That's blasphemy.
That's going too far.
Hey.
Damn, I forgot about Ben Gordon.
Besides, didn't Rashid actually won a championship? But
he won a championship.
Ben did it.
Yeah, the 04 Pistons, man.
Ben was a good player, but he never won a championship with
He did, but like Ben Wallace is the guy for me.
I don't know. The Pistons will tell you that team changed when Rashid got there.
No, it did change when he got there, but who was guarding Shaq? Like, who gave Shaq fits in that series?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Ben Wallace is in the Hall of Fame.
He only just got in, though. And that's blasphemy.
I mean, that's a tragedy, but
that's blasphemy. He's a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, and like a 6-time All NBA defensive team.
Listen, you know these higher ups be picking up these people each and every year, depending on how the fuck that they feel and what's needed for that class.
Like Ben Wallace should have been in the Hall of Fame 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Said 10 years ago.
But we had to wait.
So
yeah, Anthony, who's winning this series? Even though you have the unfair advantage of watching Game 1.
At least I gave him an insight.
No, it's funny because I didn't even pick someone to win this series even before Game 1. Oh,
well, you got to see a chest punch. They walked up to the dude in school, like, "Give me your money." Punched him right in the chest.
I still like Dallas to win this series, like, to be honest. Like before Game 1, I was kind of like, I never really, like, made a prediction. I was just like, I like Dallas, but I never really, like, confirmed it. Like, seeing this game, you know, you got to pay attention, like, especially in the first half. Golden State wasn't exactly defending the three like that. Dallas was just missing everything known to man. We've seen these kind of games from the Mavericks where they just miss every fucking three known to man. And then we see what they could do literally in 48 hours. So my thing is, personally, it's like, okay, a couple of them threes fall down. Luka plays better. There's better ball movement. I still say Dallas. I mean, again, the only thing that's different is I'm not going to say Dallas 6 crazy shit like that. But I say Dallas in 7. I think they will correct the issues that they had today. They're correctable issues at the end of the day. And it's not the first time they've been blown out. You know, I mean, we just saw them get blown out three times just last week. So, I mean, granted, Phoenix, Golden State, they're two different teams, but I still think Dallas can pull this off. I'll say Dallas for 7.
I respect it. When I made my prediction yesterday, I said the series could go 2 ways. It's either going to be Golden State wins in 5 or Dallas is going to bring it to 7.
I think Dallas will bring it to 7.
But after this game, it looks like a Golden State in 5 is very, very real. Both possibilities still very real. But again, if Golden State goes in and punches Dallas in the mouth again like this, I think the series is over.
And
I don't think they have the mental makeup to overcome getting punched in the mouth twice.
But this is what upsets me about the Suns. I wanted to say, oh, but this is Golden State. They got that championship mentality. And I'm thinking about the Suns is like, the Suns should kind of have some of that too, but but
never won.
Happened. Yeah. You know, at least they had championship taste. At least they got experience.
They got a taste of it, but this is a dynasty. Like, the Golden State Warriors are a dynasty. It's hard to have better championship makeup than a fucking dynasty.
I'm not gonna lie. I forgot Kevin Durant was on that team for a second too. Like, I was just like, damn.
Let's also not forget Kevin Durant wasn't on the team that won their first one.
I know, right? I was like, yo, this team without Kevin Durant was still title contenders. That shit is crazy. Like,
that's what makes that Kevin Durant move so, like, absolutely absurd.
I don't know how he sleeps at night. Just Like, I really don't. When he thinks
With
about
his
his
two
ring,
championships and 2 Finals MVPs in each hand.
he might as well just sell them shits to me, man. Like, that's how much value they have.
Whether that's the case or not, like, he got him.
Kevin Durant said, "You know what? I'm tired of playing this game on All Madden. I'm putting this on Rookie." That's what he did, and he went and got his chips.
He literally did that. That's literally what he did. And again, I tell people all the time.
Golden State, man, because they saw that they had a pretty good matchup with Cleveland without him, and were like, "Do you want to get better?"
You know what would be good if we upgraded Harrison Barnes and got Kevin Durant.
Like, you think we'd be better if we did that? Oh yeah. All right, let's do it.
Wait, get him on the phone right now.
You mean KD's interested? Really? Oh yeah.
Really? And we could get him for a decent deal? Yeah.
And the thing is, Steph was on a bad deal. Steph was still on that deal he got because he was always hurt. Mm-hmm. So, like, it just made sense.
I'll be honest with you. The NBA was like, because here's the thing. When LeBron, and it's funny because Facebook Memories actually notified me about, like, the decision and whatnot. Like, when I think about when LeBron joined the Heat, it was like, it was fun. It was engaging. It was just like, I remember like going to school the next day, and everybody was just losing their fucking mind.
The world melted down.
Yeah, the world fucking melted down. Like, it was ridiculous.
Then you get every bad take about the decision, and then here I am like, hey, did you know he raised millions of dollars for boys and girls clubs with that?
Yeah, I was
So is he a bad guy again?
Hold on, wait. I'm not even saying this because I hate LeBron, but my thing is that is true. But at the same time, though, you also got to take into consideration: was that the classiest way to leave Cleveland?
Who cares? Like, here's the thing, right? What is the classy way? To just not say anything,
doing a press conference in front of reporters and making your announcement there for
like, there's no classy. Oh, him leaving a note on Instagram, like, hey, thanks, Cleveland. There's no way. There's no way he leaves Cleveland and they're not burning his jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
There was zero way.
I think what also made Clevelanders mad was that he was leaving to go to Miami. Like, I think that's also what they didn't like. Like, because, you know, again, Miami was kind of looked at as just kind of like fair weather-ish, you know, and they were like, dude, what are you doing? You know?
At that time, they weren't. Because Miami was getting bumped out of the first round as like the 7th and 8th seed. Because it was just Wade, Michael Beasley, and like a couple older guys.
The Hawks and shit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they were middling around. Like Bosh, Wade, and Bosh. Al
Horford was even there at that time period. Like, you know, I remember that time period vaguely too. Of my like
Bosh and Wade were there, middling around
in the Game 7 situation.
Because Toronto was getting bounced early, and Miami was getting bounced early. It's like Miami wasn't good before they got there.
What fucked up Miami and then even Cleveland was just like, again, that Boston big three. There was no space for Wade or LeBron, so they were like, "Yo, we got to get together." Like, you know, at that point, because LeBron got bounced, Wade was getting bounced.
I'm glad you finally acknowledged them.
I know. Like, where is this coming
remember
from?
this argument we had
who are
a couple
you?
Sundays ago when you're like, that Boston big three wasn't a super team. They were absolutely a super team.
But then again, those were a super team before that even came into play. Yeah, I think about how the Chicago Bulls were back in the 90s, where you had MJ, Scottie, and Dennis Rodman. That was a big three right there because that accumulated the 3 championships.
That was also a super team. That was also
But I mean, but then again, back in the days though, it was really about dynamic duos. What it was back then.
The eras were different.
Was just always considered 2 instead of 3, but I always consider a third was Dennis Rodman because when he came in, and when MJ came back, the second time and shit like that. So from 95 to 98, those years right there, forget it. There was no way that you could tell me
they were never gonna lose.
That he didn't serve his roses.
So when Boston did it, because that was the first time since that, because the Lakers tried to do it in 2004, bringing on washed Carmelo and washed Gary Payton. But it didn't work. But they got KG still in his prime to go with Paul Pierce.
But the thing is, it's not the same thing. I keep trying to tell you this because at the end of the day, here's the thing. Hold on. If it was the same thing, Dylan, like you keep trying to say it is, why would they have made such a big deal out of LeBron doing it? Why did they make such a big
Because
deal?
the media hates LeBron.
Because people like you act like LeBron
No.
the
But
only person in history to do
wait,
something.
hold on. What LeBron did was they had literally two of the top 5 best players on the same team. That was part of the intrigue of that Miami Heat team. You're not going to sit here and tell me that Boston Big Three had 2 of the best 5 players in the league. That's why people went crazy over
They
what
had
LeBron
3 of the
did.
top 15.
Exactly.
Okay, but that's not the same thing. Though. That's not the same thing.
They had 3 of the top 15.
No, but here's the thing, though. People, if it was like you guys are saying right now, people wouldn't have went so crazy over what LeBron did. It's a different thing. It's not the same thing. It's not. It's really not.
But the media likes to look at things LeBron does differently. That's why it sucks.
No, but hold on.
That's why it's not fair.
LeBron. But that was LeBron turning into the villain. LeBron still was the good guy. All right.
He was.
I know after that he wasn't obviously, but he was still the good guy right up until the decision. All right.
NBA media never national sports media never cared for
Bayless
LeBron.
has been doing this to LeBron since
2000.
Like what are you
talking about?
He's been doing this
ever since then.
Ever since LeBron was crowned. Since LeBron was crowned the chosen one, that's where the world was like, no.
And then that's when they wanted to make the comparison between him and MJ, and that's when, as Dylan said, the media gets involved, and then they really try to press that shit down. Like, yo, if he is, let's see what the fuck he's capable of, and then you see what the hell he was capable of the first several years in Cleveland, to when he had to pull the anchor himself in order for him to get close to that finals run, and you know what I'm saying. So like, I guess at that time period when you have no help, you're not gonna get far. So
I did not fall
a while to actually see that, and him and Wade too.
Gilbert was not giving him help. Toronto was not giving Bosh help, and Wade wasn't getting shit either.
And Wade wasn't getting shit down there until a certain people came in.
Like,
especially once they brought in.
They only won 1 championship during that whole 2000 to 2010 time period. Only won 1 championship ever since then.
Bringing in KG is such an underrated move because he's 4 years removed from his MVP. He's still won Defensive Player of the Year. KG got to that team at 28, 29 years old?
No.
No. He was 30
or 30.
No, hell no.
No, he was 30.
KG was born in 75. He was like 30. No, he's 30. No, he's 31, 32.
31. That's still his prime.
Yeah. So I'm
that's
saying
still his prime.
Because he came into the league when he was 18,
and then he got injured
before he got traded over there.
He got injured the next year, and then he never recovered from his injury, and then he fell off after that. And that's when he got traded. But KG was the catalyst that made that whole team work. KG's the real Finals MVP.
Pierce and Allen were both
on that team.
And Ray Allen too. Don't forget about that trade.
Ray Allen was the closest person to exiting his prime on that team.
That was a great pickup because we needed a sharpshooter that can help Pierce too, as well. He couldn't do all the work himself.
Ray Allen was the closest person leaving his prime on that team because Ray Allen wasn't nearly as athletic as he was. He didn't play defense. He only literally was a spot-up 3-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the greatest at that point, the greatest, and you couldn't cover him, you couldn't leave him open. He would hit everything. KG took complete command and control of that team on defense. There's a reason they went to back-to-back NBA Finals. That was a great team.
It wasn't really a back-to-back, but
they did go to back-to-back Finals.
The 08 and
wait, did they do back-to-back? No, they didn't do back-to-back.
No.
2009 was the Magic.
It was the Magic, and then 2010.
Orlando, and then they did. Yeah, so 2 out of 3 years.
If Big Baby did not get injured,
well, but then
that serious.
But KG got injured in 09, right? KG got injured.
KG got injured the next year.
And then Orlando took advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But that Celtics team was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. There's a reason why, you had to create that Miami Heat team if you wanted to win.
And Pat Riley
nobody was beating them.
And Pat Riley had a grudge against Boston because of Danny Ainge. So that's what really too. People don't know that because people don't think about that. I'm like, nah, I pay attention to my little sports beef history.
Pat Riley with my favorite moment in recruiting history, bringing LeBron and Bosh to the table in this dimly lit room, dumps his rings out on the table and goes, take one. And then when you win yours, give this one back to me. And then
Godfather.
Chris Bosh,
Godfather.
during his Hall of Fame speech, finally gave Pat Riley his ring back.
Damn.
Godfather.
That's one of the best
recruiting. One of your first, well, you'll say the Heat won too. So like, you should have been giving that shit back.
What a better moment to do. Well, he got his Hall of Fame ring. He went and he got his Hall of Fame ring and he gave it back. That's one of the best. There's no better way to recruit somebody.
Okay, so there's no better way to tell the world or have a little breaking news announcement because you don't know how to really portray it, right? You see, a victim to your own shit. That means we can't judge LeBron by how the fuck that he does it. We can't judge by how Kyrie does his shit or God knows who the fuck else.
No, but like LeBron's rings with Miami are 100% legitimate. It's not the same thing because again, he wasn't getting no damn help from Cleveland, as you can see by their record in 2011, the year after he left, which is literally a reverse of the last year he was in Cleveland. So yeah, he bounced. He did what he needed to do. Miami Heat wasn't a contending team, and yeah, they brought in Bosh and him and whatnot, and they did what they needed to do.
And Spo was a young coach at that time.
Oh yeah, Spo was definitely a young
coach for like 3 years.
Because a lot of people thought
3 years yet.
I thought he was just a product of a good team, like most people thought. And then once that era faded, Spo was still doing his thing.
Top 10 coach of all time.
Oh wow, of all time.
Spo was a top 10 coach of all time.
Top 10, I'll give you. Top 5, I got to think about.
No, top 10. It's no doubt 10, top 10.
No doubt top 10. Top 5, I don't know. I got to think about it.
I won't do top 5. There's too many better coaches that are top 5.
Yeah, you really want to go back and
think about that one. Like Phil Jackson, Pop,
Jackson, Pop. I would give you Jerry Sloan. I would say Lenny Wilkins. This Pat Riley.
Yeah,
we do.
That's 5 right there.
That's 5. There's 5. Spo's top 10.
Don Nelson.
Oh yeah, Don Nelson. Yeah, but Kevin Durant, it's hard to defend his championship. Like, where do you even start? How do you legitimize it? It's
he got it.
He got let's not act like Steph played great in those 2 finals appearances when he was there.
Gee Willikers, Steph doesn't do great.
Steph should have won the MVP the first one though.
In 16.
The one that Iguodala won?
In 15, yeah. Iguodala had no business winning that
the first one that Durant won. I thought Steph
really?
Oh, the Durant one.
I thought Steph was the MVP of that series because I thought Cleveland paid attention to
I think Steph was MVP the second one.
Durant was balling.
Durant was balling, man.
That was when he came in.
Durant was balling.
The second one was the second one was Steph, and then that's when they lost the Cavaliers the next year.
Because the first KD ring, LeBron and them were fighting back in that series. They were trying to be competitive, and Durant was like, "Hold my beer, like y'all are not coming into this game."
It was painful watching the league during that time. I'm sorry, man.
But you knew, and Cleveland was good.
Cleveland was really good.
Cleveland was really good, up and down.
Cleveland was really good, and you just knew that there was just no way.
And that was with Kevin Love too, because Kevin Love wasn't great.
Oh, he wasn't. He wasn't at all.
It was LeBron, Kyrie, Wash, Kevin Love, and then J.R.
Smith,
Channing Frye, Shump,
and J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith. Oh Lord,
those guys played great basketball. That was a great team.
That's when they took a bunch of our Knicks.
Right, another one. Tristan Thompson.
What's Tristan Thompson doing? Is he still cheating on his girl, man? What's he doing now?
Sure, he is. He's still in the league, though.
Has he been loyal for 1 month of his life? I don't think that man has been faithful for 1 month. Jesus. Oh Lord.
I give Durant his.
Tristan.
You give Durant his respect.
Get traded.
I hated the move initially, but him going to Golden State mentally put him in one of those spaces where he's like, I'm better than literally everybody. Which is when basketball players get that comfortable mentally, they turn into a different beast. LeBron in 2016, KD last year, Giannis last year.
See, but here's the thing with Giannis, though. Giannis never went the fuck anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Giannis
saying.
won a title.
He controlled the narrative around. He's like,
but he controlled the narrative, though.
I need players.
But it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter how you get there mentally. Once you get there, it's different. Kobe, when he finally won his MVP in those title runs that they had towards the end, like Kobe mentally was in a different spot.
Yeah, no, but he did.
Nobody was there.
No, but he did.
But it doesn't matter. But again, it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there. Because Durant, outside of the sweep of the first series of the playoffs, Durant has a legitimate argument to being the best player in the world. He does. And he showed it before he got hurt, that he carried that bum roster to number 1 in the Eastern Conference on crazy efficient shooting. And then he got hurt, and then we plummeted from 1 to 10. And then last year's performance in the playoffs, Game 7.
No. I need to see the whole ecosystem of problems that led up to that, not just KD's injury. They knew what they was buying into when
do not come with that stupid shit that you're about to say.
I will come with the fucking
do not come with that stupid shit that you're about to say. The facts? What facts? What facts? Go ahead. State of facts.
This is your fuck
State of facts. State of facts.
This is your
state of facts.
Kyrie Irving ruined that season.
Kyrie Irving didn't want to get forced to get a vaccination?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so you're okay with the government telling Kyrie Irving what he can and can't do?
That's majorry what the government
does. They do that all the time, Dylan.
So you're not pro-choice?
So Dylan, let me ask you.
So you're not pro-choice?
So let me ask you a question, Dylan.
Are you serious?
You're not pro-choice?
Can you go outside and shoot someone in the head? No.
Right.
You know why? Because the government tells you can't do that.
Otherwise, you won't go.
So the government told not only hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers that they can't work because they're not vaccinated. Like, that's okay?
The rule
is that okay?
That they made was
is
dumb.
that okay?
But Dylan, so if you would have done that, right? You want to be right here sitting in that little room of yours doing this podcast right now, you'd be somewhere the fuck else.
Here's the thing, right? I'm fortunate where that's not the case, right? And I don't care, right? The vaccine mandate and the fact that Kyrie Irving wasn't able to play was literally Mayor Adams saying, I'm not doing this for one player. The Kyrie Irving situation, everybody decided, you know what? This is fucking stupid. This is fucking stupid because Kyrie Irving can attend games as a fan in Barclays, but he can't play. Tell me that makes sense.
That didn't make sense.
That does not make sense.
The rule did not make sense the way they had it laid out. But all of that still, at the end of the day, could have ended at any moment if Kyrie decided to take the vaccine. And Kyrie is on a record of saying that he didn't have a problem with the vaccine. He had a problem with them telling him he had to take the vaccine.
And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine.
And it's also selfish. That's what it is.
I never said he wasn't selfish.
It's selfish.
I've never said he wasn't selfish. But at the end of the day, we were first in the Eastern Conference without him. We were number 1 in the Eastern Conference without him, with a 24-8 record. And
now to piggyback off that one, folks, real quick, when we had him on that Celtics team, when he was out for that whole year, we got better without him.
This isn't a conversation about whether Kyrie was good in Boston.
The point is Kyrie is a fucking cancer. The same way how I told y'all last night. He is a cancer. The same way how Russell
Kyrie was
a fucking cancer. Anything that they beat on.
If Kyrie was a cancer, how does he keep getting paid and teammates love him?
Because he's really good at basketball.
Teammates love Kyrie Irving. There's not a single player on that Celtics team that hates Kyrie Irving. There's not a single player on that Celtics team. For me, it was never about questioning the man's skill. It's about his psyche. It's about his psychology. It's about the way that he lives. It's about the way that he thinks. Do you know when Boston media turned on Kyrie Irving?
I turned on him the very day when he got traded here. I never won that bitch ass motherfucker on my team.
Do you know when Boston media turned on Kyrie Irving?
I knew
I know
exactly
exactly when.
and people looked at me funny then. And then 2 years later, I looked at them and said, "Y'all happy now?" Or because y'all want to buy his weak ass fucking shoes? Fuck out of my face.
Kyrie Irving also has the best selling Nike basketball signature sneaker. So
shit.
Besides LeBron James, he has the number one. He's the number 2 selling basketball sneaker for Nike.
Aren't they not renewing his contract though?
No, it's
that's
not.
also false.
Oh,
go look at sales figures, BlvckHvrt. Go look at sales figures. The Kyrie Irving Nike shoe line is the second most popular basketball shoe by Nike.
And the first is
LeBron.
So of course you're never gonna beat LeBron. So baby
that's
LeBron.
Never. That's also not like what is this? What is this conversation? That's not. When did this turn into Kyrie Irving's not better than LeBron James? Like,
this turned into this because we talked about the whole Kyrie situation being a negative thing for.
But you're also really good at not answering my questions. You're very good at not answering my question.
Entire fucking time.
You never answer my question. You never answer my question. Listen, do you know when Boston media turned on Kyrie Irving?
It's about Kyrie's skill. It's about
when did Boston media turn on Kyrie Irving?
It's about the way that he looks
not answering my question.
Like that.
Not answering my question.
That's what I'm trying to get to you right here, right now. You should be ignorant and shit.
You're not answering my questions.
For a psycho egotistical media, I would not want that motherfucker on my squad. Y'all can have him over there in Brooklyn. Y'all can deal with that controversial mess.
When are you going to answer my question?
Oh, we don't need a head coach. Apparently, motherfucker, you did.
When are you going to
with y'all motherfuckers got sweat?
Are you going to answer my question?
For a person that said we don't need a head coach, I'm laughing at y'all.
When are you going to answer my question?
This so needs to be clear.
What is your question?
What do you know when Boston media turned on Kyrie Irving?
The day that he got traded here.
That's not true because Boston media
that was half of us.
That is Boston media. I'm not talking about Boston fans. I'm talking
Boston
about
media
the
was split. No, the Boston media was split.
That's not true.
Boston media was saying, because of this move, I can see him going to the Eastern Conference Championship because you want to bring in Gordon Hayward.
And every game that Kyrie played,
he gets injured and he
got hurt. Everybody loved Kyrie Irving. Do you know why? When Kyrie Irving fell out of grace with the Boston sports media, year 2, he comes out.
I want to be back if you want me.
Nope. Incorrect.
No, that is correct. Because you should never done that in our home.
I really wish
you should never done that.
You would listen
and answer. And all of a sudden, you want to go back on your word. And now you try to be buddy with
because he fell out of the graces of Boston media before he turned back on his word. So that's how I know you're full of shit.
That's the state of mind thing, isn't it?
That's how I know you're full of shit.
No,
he fell out of graces with the Boston media when he got criticized or criticizing.
Back in the very moment when that press conference happens, here, I would love to be back if you want me here.
That's not when he started it. That's when Boston media fell out of love with Kyrie Irving.
Yes,
him agreeing to come back
because you knew for
him saying if you'll take me back.
That man was not going to commit full time to stay here.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight.
That's the whole point. Why let me get this because straight. We only have for 2 years.
You're telling me
wanted out.
Kyrie Irving in the middle of his stadium with all the fans filled, with the Boston media there saying, "If you guys will have me, I will love to come back, and I plan on re-signing." And that place erupts. That's when the media turned on him.
When he left. After that.
When he left, not that moment, because he's telling me that moment. That's fucking stupid.
It wasn't that moment, though.
It wasn't that moment. The moment was when there was after a bad loss, and he gets asked, what does this team need? He says, we don't have the correct pieces to win a championship here. And everybody looked at him like, Kyrie Irving can't say that. He's not allowed to say that. But guess what? When that happened, he fell out of favor with Boston fans and the media, and that's when he started to renege on, hey, I want to resign. Guess what happens 2 years later? This very season, BlvckHvrt, Marcus Smart goes out and talks to the Boston media and says, we're not going to win games if Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't pass the fucking ball. What's the difference?
One's actually affected, the other one wasn't.
And why is that?
Because
the media
Marcus Smart is
Kyrie Irving for no reason.
But also, compared to these two basketball players, Marcus Smart is the heart of our fucking team since day fucking one. Kyrie has been on how many teams?
Kyrie Irving was the best player on your team. And he came out and said a fact. He said a fact.
The difference was people respect Marcus Smart's opinions before Kyrie Irving's fucking opinions.
So the only difference between Kyrie Irving and Marcus Smart is the media likes Marcus Smart? Wow. It's almost like the media doesn't fucking like Kyrie Irving.
And why is that? And why do you think that they don't like him for that?
You know who Jackie McMullen
because
is?
he's wishy-washy of his own goddamn fucking
decisions.
Who
Jackie McMullen
his psyche is all fucked up, Dylan.
Do you know who Jackie McMullen is?
He doesn't know what the fuck that he wants on a daily basis. Like Vince McMahon. He can wake up one day and be like, okay, I want to do this.
Do you know who Jackie McMullen is?
Nah, I don't want to play today.
Do you know who Jackie McMullen is?
I don't give a fuck who the fuck it is. But I do know who Jackie McMullen is, though.
Can you elaborate who Jackie McMullen is, please? Before I continue my point.
I do. But
who is Jackie McMullen? Before I continue.
But he has the same company.
Who is Jackie McMullen?
One day he can wake up and say one thing, and then he can wake up very next day and say a whole nother fucking thing. You can't trust that mindset on your team.
Who is Jackie McMullen, BlvckHvrt?
It's a sports writer, as I just said, from
Boston, legendary Boston sports writer.
And she popped on around the horn. Boom.
A legendary Boston sports writer who covers the Celtics like nobody I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Did you read her article about that Celtics team at the end of that season? Because I want to tell you no, because you didn't.
No, what year did it came out?
The year Kyrie Irving left. You know what year Kyrie Irving left?
So it's 2020,
2019. 2018, 2019.
Yeah, I was going to say 18 or 19.
Do you know what those reports said about Kyrie Irving when he came back from his injury and what he was doing with the team and what the team decided to do instead?
He wanted to have a team meeting, but instead...
Nope, wrong. Kyrie Irving, after getting that Celtics team, after getting waxed by Miami, wanted to take the rest of the team to go to work out and get shots up after the game. And you know what Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Terry Rozier told him? Fuck you, we're going to go party instead. So while Kyrie Irving was trying to be a professional for your fucking basketball team, your young guys thought they knew more, and they thought they knew better. So that's where the rift and the drift started to happen. Because the young Boston Celtics, your Kyrie Irving got hurt, got a taste of success, and thought they were better than Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. So they started losing respect. And guess what? They weren't. They weren't better. And instead of putting up shots and putting in the work to get better, they decided they were going to party. And they did this on multiple occasions. Every time they went to New York, every time they went to LA, every time they went to Atlanta, every time they went to Miami. These are the things that happen.
Shit, I would party in those cities too.
Facts and stats.
Exactly.
Instead of going in, you're professionals. Instead of going in and putting in work after getting your axe waxed, these are the things that you're doing. So maybe before you start hating a guy for trying to put your
trying, or for one day he can be wishy-washy about his goddamn fucking decisions. So as you're trying to pinpoint,
so you're trying to fault a guy for trying to make the young players professionals and put on work and go to work. You're gonna fault him for that because the young guys decided not to, and to go do something else and decide to hate on a man. And then you have guys like Terry Rozier and Jaylen Brown coming out and just talking shit. When at the end of the day, at that point in their career, they know nothing. They knew nothing about what the NBA is. And Kyrie still to this day has accomplished more than everybody on that team individually.
And he got
before we go and we look at
drafted that and look who came a couple years as he was there. If it wasn't for Daddy fucking LeBron, you wouldn't be talking to this whole thing would never even got this.
Neither one of them win a title without each other, so don't start that bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither one of them. They both need each other. They both need each other.
I mean, no. It's not about that though. It's about how his mindset is, and
he's a weirdo. I get he's a weirdo.
He's wishy-washy at times. So for me personally, that must be so. If me and you was hanging out, and then one day you want to act like this, and then another day you want to act like a whole nother fucking person. I'm not rocking with you after that.
I've never said Kyrie Irving isn't a weirdo, but Boston's hate for Kyrie Irving is literally stupid. It's literally stupid. As shown by the points that I said about the articles that are proven to be true and how you just sat there like, oh, shit. If you told me that now, that if after this loss that you did in Miami, if you told me that Marcus Smart tried to go get shots up and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were like, now we're going to go party, what would you say?
Oh, no, that probably won't happen anymore.
But no, I'm asking what if it happened, because we have proof that this has happened, right? What would you say if they decided to do that
Kyrie
instead?
and Marcus, though.
No, if Marcus Smart decided to shoot shots and nobody went with him because they wanted to party instead, what would you say?
And like I just tried to...
No, you're not answering my question. You're doing that thing. You're
doing
that thing where you're not answering my questions.
That wouldn't fucking happen. That is the answer to the question.
That's not an answer to the question. If it happened, what would you do? What would you say? Would you be upset with Jaylen and Jason for doing that?
If this was back then or now?
I literally said right now.
No,
if this happened, you would not be mad that after a playoff loss, when Marcus Smart's trying to get shots up, your guys are going to go party? You're not going to get mad? You're a fucking liar.
Are you a judge,
You are a fucking liar. Liar. That just shows how blind you are. You are a blind Boston sports fan.
Who the fuck am I to say that to them? Just like you can say the same thing to them either.
Blind.
Kyrie for that.
Blind. You're like Kenshi from Mortal Kombat. Fucking blind.
Okay, whatever. I mean, if you insist, it's just a Brooklyn thing.
That's
it's a
Brooklyn
mindset. So
that's crazy to me. How I can put the same scenario in front of you, and it doesn't.
I understand the whole scenario, but like I said, I don't trust the man's mind frame, so I don't give a shit about his. I mean, about the
that question was not about his mind frame.
But that
was more a question about your fandom.
Sometimes you gotta be embraced in black cap.
That was more a question about your fandom than it was about Kyrie Irving.
To try to have things both his way and then try to please others, it's not gonna work.
I got all my info that I needed because I steered that question away from Kyrie Irving to see how you feel, and I know all about your fandom now. You just hate Kyrie Irving.
Of course I hate Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, it is. For no reason. You hate Kyrie Irving for no reason. For no reason. It's okay. It's okay if Marcus Smart.
You just make it seem like I just have like a deep despise for him to the point where
you answered
it leave me to like some jail time. That's not the fucking case.
You just said that you'd be okay with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum going to party after a playoff loss as opposed to getting the work in.
Hey, that's what we have practices for. Duh. Go. Unwind.
Winners aren't made in practice. Winners aren't made in practice. Winners are made in the off work, the extra work that you do.
And since in Kyrie's case right now, what the fuck is he? He should have been in this playoff still, right?
Shoulda, woulda.
It was professionalism that he put in the hard work.
Shoulda, woulda. Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
I do not get. I've already done my sulking about the Nets season.
That's
and
fine.
That playoff series.
You can lay in that coffin with them to the next season when the new season actually does start.
Did you even say a sentence?
I did say it. I said you can lay it in that coffin to the next season when y'all come back to life again. That's what the fuck I said.
That's fine.
Sit there in that coffin over there.
That's fine.
That's fine.
It's okay. He wins. We go 1-1 in playoff series in the last 2 years, and he acted like they won a title.
I was gonna answer your questions, Dylan, but I think that topic's done.
Yeah,
don't think there's anything else really left to be said there. Anthony, can you put on record who you have winning the Eastern Conference Finals for us?
Boston.
In
6.
Ooh.
All right, I'm not the only person to pick Boston this time. Somebody else is a believer.
Again, yes, Butler's been playing out of his mind. Yes, they had a outrageously just unacceptable third quarter. I still can't even describe that third quarter to this day. And again, no. I thought it was 2 days ago. My mind Nah, but again, no Smart, no Horford. That does matter too. So at the end of the day, missing some key pieces too. On top of that, they're not going to repeat what they did in Game 2. They're definitely winning Game 2. I have them in 6. I look at the Heat team, look at the Celtics team. I think this Celtics team is just better. I just think they are. So yeah, and NBA Finals. Yeah. Oh God, that's my NBA Finals right there. Mavericks and Celtics.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I don't think that'll be
But
a bad final.
I think it would be
it
a
wouldn't
bad
be
finals.
You think it would?
Yeah.
Well, you want to see Luca versus Tatum?
Boston would pack them up.
Boston would
pack them up.
I think Boston would pack them the fuck up. Yeah.
Golden State plays good team defense. He doesn't play nearly as good team defense as Boston does. He would get packed the fuck up.
I think Dallas, Boston is Dallas, Miami is probably the worst series we could get.
Oh yeah, totally agree.
Followed by Dallas, Boston.
I don't want to see Miami in the finals. I want to see Boston. That's my main thing. Any team versus Boston. That's just what I want to see.
Golden State versus Boston is what I picture.
Golden State versus Boston is what the NBA would love.
Oh yeah, of course. Boston.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jimmy in there again, but
I wouldn't mind seeing Miami. I wouldn't mind seeing Miami now. I think Miami's going to be there. So.
Anthony's hopping on my bandwagon now because he's tired of being on the opposite end of history.
No, I just don't want to see the Heat in the finals. I just don't want to see them.
Not sure how I feel about y'all agreeing on something, but
yeah, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I'm telling you, he's doing this so he's not on the wrong side of history again.
Oh my God, here we go.
I chose violence. I woke up an hour ago and I chose violence.
You know who else chose violence, Dylan? Apparently, Pat Beverly. He chose violence as well. That man chose violence all week.
I like Pat Beverly as a player.
I don't like.
I fucking love Pat Beverly.
I hate Pat Beverly as a player. I like Pat Beverly the analyst.
I love him as an analyst. He gives no fuck at all.
But he's so biased. Like,
I
can't believe anything he's giving me because I don't know if he believes it. Like, everything he's saying is just emotional. Like, Chris Paul sucks. Like, what are you talking about? James Harden should get a max contract. In what world does James Harden get a max contract?
In Anthony's world.
What are you talking about? Like, why are you speaking so emotional? Like, no one in their right mind.
Well, James Harden's his boy.
Exactly. James Harden is his boy. No one's giving him a max contract. Like, he hates Luka. Luka sucks. Golden State's gonna shut him down. Like, everything's emotional with him. Like, I can't get any balanced, fair analysis from him. Everything's just a product.
I like that out of him. I like that out of him better than him as a player.
Like, oh my goodness.
I'd much rather have this Pat Bev than the player Pat Bev because you could put him to Siberia. I hate his ass.
And I understand that Patrick Beverley's made more money than I'll ever make in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it seems like I have more button-up shirts than him is driving me crazy. It's driving me insane. Like, bro, you are on national TV. You can't put on a button-up and a blazer? Like, just once? Like, polos every day? Like, oh my God.
Matt Barnes tore his ass up. Matt Barnes did not hold back. I think Danny Green tore his ass up too.
Yeah, and then he came back. He came at Danny Green with some facts, though.
I didn't see that.
He posted it was like a list of the 5 defenders who hold their players when they're the primary defender with like the lowest shooting percentage, and he was like 3 behind Ben Simmons and Giannis. And he just tweeted that picture out. He goes, "Stay well, Danny."
Wow,
I was like, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. But I could listen to JJ Redick and Pat Beverly just fight like for
I could
hours.
Listen to them too
because it can potentially be like a really smart basketball conversation.
I've looked at JJ Redick looking at Patrick Beverly, and I'm just like, he wants to square up. I could see it in his eyes. JJ Redick is just like, if these cameras wasn't here, we'd square up right now.
But JJ's been that guy. JJ's that guy. He'll want to fight. But I could listen to them argue because Pat Bev sometimes can be really smart when it comes to like his basketball analysis. And JJ Redick is just the best basketball analysis that is like out there right now.
Yep.
Because he gives a fuck about the game of basketball in its purest form.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Bev does too, but he has a bias.
He's biased.
He has a clear bias. You know.
Their clip of them both looking at Stephen A when he's talking about Jimmy Butler being a perimeter shooter, where they're just like, is gold, is absolute gold, because you put Stephen A with them and he says something stupid that's a narrative story, they're looking at me like, what are you fucking talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I mean, shit. I mean, things are going to may look a little different in the Valley next year. Yeah, I'm not sure if Aiton's going to be there.
Aiton's going to be in Dallas next year.
You said he's going to be in Dallas.
Fuck it. DeAndre Ayton will be in Dallas next year.
That's scary.
Phoenix Suns.
You heard it here first. May 19th, 2022 at 12:58 a.m. DeAndre Ayton will be a Dallas Maverick.
Speaking of which, it's time to wrap this up.
Let's go.
It's time to wrap this up. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. This post-game show has... I told y'all I was here with us last night for night one. I told you these post-games is going to be wild. Night one, the Ryan Tannehill slander.
Ryan Tannehill still fucking stinks.
Oh, I missed the Ryan Tannehill slander.
Don't worry, I put a clip up on Instagram. Go ahead, share
it.
Okay. Night two, Boston versus Kyrie. I mean, these post games, you never know what you're going to get with us when that live button is there. Tomorrow night, we'll be right back here again. We'll be right back here again tomorrow night. We'll have Frenchie in the building. I believe Dylan's in here.
I'll be here.
Anthony, you in tomorrow? You in for the post game?
Security.
Nope, working.
Yeah.
That's cool. We might have Breezy in the building again tomorrow. So BlvckHvrt, I know your schedule. We'll see. We'll see how it rolls tomorrow.
I was very shocked to see you tonight. I saw you pop up. I was like, oh hell yeah.
I was like, nah. He had
a for that moment, but I'll try to make my way tomorrow. I thought
I like when you're on.
I try to squeeze you in tomorrow.
Wait, what'd you say?
I'll try to squeeze
us in tomorrow. Make sure you guys watch. Well, I'm gonna give BlvckHvrt the solo. I was gonna say, make sure y'all watch.
Absolutely, he's been killing it on here, even though he doesn't answer questions.
Shut up. It's 1 a.m. on my side of town. Dylan's pissing me off. Fuck Kyrie, even though it made me. It's a me thing, okay?
Yeah,
it's just a me being as a fan thing, and that's just it. So, Kyrie, get your head CAT scans or shit like that. Please get the help that you do fucking need. This is me talking to you, one black man to another. Okay, I know mental illness is real shit like that, but you got problems, my nigga. So Dylan, suck my tailpipe. OTT on we in this bitch. Mike, get the fuck out of here.
Anthony, take us out of here.
Like and subscribe, guys. We're gonna be here tomorrow, the day after that, and every single day is a playoff game. We love y'all.
The day after that.
It's a lot of work.
Yes, it is a lot of work. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram, Enoch313, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Mad
Anthony,
producer.
you're a fucking sneaky bitch. BlvckHvrt, you're a fucking sheep. You and the rest of the Boston sports fanatics are sheep. You guys subscribe to this bullshit Kyrie Irving narratives. You fucking sheep.
Fucking Jets and fucking Nets. How about
it's
that?
It's okay. We stink.
What everybody you got out there?
Shout out to everybody who listens. Shout out to BlvckHvrt for coming on and being a great sport. Podcast Poppy _ on all platforms. Clips are up. Last two pods are up. Last post game's up. This will be up in the morning as well. Appreciate everybody who listens and comes to support. Got great things coming. We got a lot of work to do.
A lot of work. Team No Sleep Night 2, Dylan. I didn't even, before I do my solo, Dylan, does Janice know about this, that what we're doing? Because
yes,
I told my girlfriend and she was like, every night? And I was like,
Janice said that same thing. And she's like, how is that fair to me? I was like, well, what are you doing at 12:30? And she goes, nothing. I was like, I thought so. She was like, well, I just assume you're going to go in at 9 o'clock. I was like, no, we're waiting for the games to be over. So I'll be going, like, the Celtics games will probably be in at like 10:30 when you're going to bed with the kids. And then the Western Conference games will be at like 11:45 when you'll be in bed with the kids. So I have time to do this, and I'm off till like next Tuesday. So I have time to edit and post right off the rip.
So yeah, Team No Sleep for me and Dylan. Thank you for listening. Thank you. What are we on? What are we on tonight? Twitch, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Thank you for watching, listening, like, share, subscribe. Follow me on the socials, IAM_MBJ on all the socials. Yeah, man, we are going to wrap this up tonight. We'll be back and better than ever tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a better game to talk about.
Yeah, we definitely will. Miami Boston's not going to disappoint, so.
But with that, I will say...
Fuck Ryan Tannehill.